This is 6 marks preparation of balance sheet. So how do we prepare a balance sheet is what you're going to learn. As I said, 80% they will ask statement of profit and loss or income statement for 6 marks. Sometimes they will ask you to prepare balance sheet. It will be like if they ask 6 marks in 6 marks balance sheet, then for 12 marks it will be like comparative or common size income statement. If they ask income statement for 6 marks, then they will ask comparative or common size balance sheet. So whichever ways, you need to know the format of balance sheet and income statement both. Now balance sheet format can also be asked in practical oriented question for 5 marks. Okay, so the question will be asked like this. They will say, from the following information, prepare balance sheet of Zindal Company as on 31/3/2020 as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Share capital, reserves and surplus, 10% debenture, creditors, bills payable, fixed assets, trade payable, short-term investment, cash and cash equivalents is given. So when they ask you to prepare balance sheet, as I said, your first step is you need to know the format. So as usual, like how we did statement of profit and loss, you will write the format of balance sheet and then start doing. Then your work becomes easy. Like if they give the items directly, all that you do is just copy paste. If not, you do a small working note, take the do the totaling and then copy paste here. Okay, now heading is balance sheet as on 31st March 2020. The format is like the same. Particulars, note number, amount. We write vertical balance sheet for the company. We prepare vertical balance sheet, so it will be particulars, note number, amount. Okay, first is equity and liability followed by assets. So as you all know, equity and liabilities total should match your assets total. Under equity and liability, you have three major headings. One is shareholders fund, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. Under assets, you have two headings, non-current assets and current assets. Okay, under shareholders fund you have share capital, reserves and surplus. Under non-current liabilities you have long-term borrowings, which is nothing but your debentures. Then under current liabilities you have trade payables, bank overdraft, any kind of outstanding expenses. All your other current liabilities will come here. Okay, yeah. Under non-current assets you have fixed assets, that is tangible asset, intangible asset. Now tangible assets are nothing but your building, land and building, machinery, furniture and fixture. All that will come under tangible assets. Intangible assets are assets which you cannot touch and see, like goodwill, trademarks, patent rights, all such items you will total and write intangible assets. If the question directly gives you tangible asset, all that I do is just copy that amount here. If not, when they give you land and building, plant and machinery, what do? We prepare a working note where we will write land and building, plant and machinery, total that, and then write the total here. And whichever note number you've written here, copy the same thing. Okay. Now this sum, you need to just check what and all items are given directly. Just copy those items directly. If not, you prepare a small working note and copy it. Now share capital. Share capital is given directly. So under share capital, I've written 10 lakhs. Now second, reserves and surplus is also given directly 5 lakhs. So copy 5 lakh. Next, 10% debenture. 10% debenture is nothing but your long-term borrowings. So what will we do? We need to prepare working note. You will call that as notes to account. 1. What are we doing? Long-term borrowings. So under long-term borrowings, what will come? 10% debentures. So copy 10% debentures, which is your 5 lakh. Total it. Show that 5 lakh here. Okay, 5 lakh as your long-term borrowings. Call that as note 1. Second, after 10% debentures, you have creditors and bills payable. Now, creditors and bills payable are put together and called trade payables. They are nothing but your trade payable. So, what will I do? I need to do totaling again. So, prepare note number 2. Call it as trade payables. Creditors, how much is creditors? 2 lakh. Bills payable, 3 lakh. So, 2 lakh plus 3 lakh, 5 lakh. So, you will copy it under trade payables, note 2. 5 lakhs. Okay, that's it. So as I said, three headings. Major headings is shareholders fund, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. After I post all the amounts, total it, that will give you your 25 lakhs, which is your total. Now the same thing you need to follow for your assets, non-current assets. under that fixed assets. So check in the question how assets are given. So here they've given fixed assets 15 lakhs. So it is given directly. Sometimes they will give tangible separate, intangible separate. If it is given so, you will copy it under tangible whatever is given, intangible. Here they've just given it as fixed assets 15 lakhs. So I've copied 15 lakh as it is. Next, trade receivables. Trade receivables is again will come under current assets. So under current asset, I will write trade receivables. The same thing, if they give debtors and bills receivable, you will prepare a working note, take the bills receivable and debtors, add that will be your trade receivables, then you would have copied the number. But your trade receivables is given directly, so I will write 5 lakhs. Next, short-term investments. Short-term investments is nothing but your current assets. It will come under current assets, current investments. So you will prepare a working note, that is working note 3, current investments. So under current assets, you have headings like trade receivables, current investments, inventories, cash and cash equivalents. So under current investments, I will do the totaling again. So what is that? Particulars, amount. Okay, what will come under current investments? Your short-term investments. So please write short-term investments. How much is it? 2 lakhs. So copy 2 lakh here. Okay, even if there is one item, you need to do the working like this. Only if it is given directly, you copy paste. If not, you will do it, you will show it under whichever heading it has to come, and then copy paste there. Now which note is it? 3. So and it is current investment. So I will write the next heading, current investments, note 3. The amount is 2 lakhs. Okay, after short-term investments, I have cash and cash equivalents. So cash and cash equivalents will come under current assets by the name cash and cash equivalents. So you don't have to prepare working note. Why? Because it is given directly. How much is cash and cash equivalents? 3 lakh. Okay, now total your asset side. So 15 plus 10, that will give you 25 lakhs again. Okay, see, your assets, your liabilities and your assets are equal. This is how you need to do your vertical balance sheet. I repeat, you will have two. One is one side, you'll begin with equity and liability followed by assets. Under equity and liability, you have 3 headings: shareholders fund, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. Under assets, you have only 2 headings: non-current assets and current assets. Under shareholders fund, you have share capital, reserves and surplus. Under non-current liabilities, you have long-term borrowings, which is nothing but your debentures. So when they give debentures, you will prepare a working note like this, show it under long-term borrowings and take that amount and write it here with the note number. Under current liabilities, you have bank overdraft, bank loan, trade payables. So you will do, if they give trade payables directly, you can copy it as it is. If they give it as bills payable, creditors, you will again prepare a working note like this, copy it and then total it and then write it here with the note number. Non-current assets, fixed assets, tangible asset. Again, tangible asset, if it is given directly, you copy it as it is. If they've given it like plant and machinery, land and building, I will write land and building, plant and machinery, total that and write here with that note number. Okay, intangible also same thing. When they give goodwill is given. Then what do? I'll prepare a working note for intangible asset, write goodwill under it, show that amount and then write here with that note number. Under current assets, you have trade receivables, inventory, current investment, cash and cash equivalents. If the items are given directly, copy it. If not, you prepare working note. For example, here it was given short-term investment. So short-term investment will fall under your current investments. So what did I do? I did a working note where I showed short investments under current asset investments, showed that amount here with the working note, which is 3. That's all.